So what's been going on?
Man, everything's been good, man. You know, busy, but busy is good.
That's it. So what's been going on with you today?
Not a lot, man. I've been busy, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, just busy with work, man.
Yeah.
Plodding along, summer's coming. Looking forward to that. What about you?
I finished that book, The 50 of Law.
Oh, okay.
It was really good.
Okay.
I took your advice, see?
Okay, look at you.
Yeah. Had a chance to work on some music.
I have been a lot, actually. It's good getting something done.
How's that on the neck? Is that too tight?
Nah, it's good.
That's good.
Thanks, man.
Cool, what are we doing with it?
Just usual. Can just do one on top, razor fade down, and then just tidy up the beard.
You want that to come to a point?
Yeah, just clean it.
Just off the cheeks?
Yeah.
Just look on the other side. Just want to make sure I got them even. Let me just put some lather on you here too, man. I've been curious about something. I've been asking a few people this question. Have you ever had a close shave with life?
Well,
Yeah, man, I have.
I've had a lot of close shaves.
you know, being an athlete, man, you always kind of feel like nothing could ever hurt you or you could never be sick or whatever. And for the most part, during my career, I never had broke bones. I never had any major injuries. But, you know, after I stopped playing, you know, I had a hernia.
I had a few years where I went through a lot of stress, a lot of bad people that I was surrounded by. I got into a pretty bad headspace for a while.
Long story short, when I was 21, I came down with a pretty bad virus and hit me on the Monday, and then by the Friday, I just wasn't any better. So I just went for a few scans and it came back saying that I had a large tumor in my chest.
So it was supposed to be basically, you know, go in, day surgery, get it done, get out, go home, and, you know, go to sleep sitting up the night. So you're sleeping in the chair. And my wife got me all prepped up, set me up and everything. And she got up and went to bed. And at some point that night, I woke up and I couldn't breathe, man.
I started to feel like everything that was happening around me was becoming more of a personal attack, and I was getting aggressive all the time. My family, they were concerned that I was on drugs or I'd just been doing some other, you know, making bad decisions, but I was just overworked and overstressed.
And he said to me, he goes, look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said, it's not good news. I had 3 tumors in my left lung, 2 tumors in my right lung, and a tumor in my neck. So we went downstairs, we're in the oncologist, we're in the waiting room, and my brother and I were having a bit of a laugh. And I remember the door opened and this guy walked out. He would have been about 26 or 27, and he was with his parents and they were all crying. And that was when the severity of my situation, it kind of hit me. And I was the next person to get called up. And
I mean, I was breathing and taking deep breaths, but I wasn't getting no air. And to the point where I couldn't even call my wife. And now, you know, I'm thinking this about it. I'm like, yo, I'm going out like this. You know, I couldn't, cause it was just bad. And I like to think God woke my wife up for her to walk out there and check on me when she did. And I just remember her looking at me, walking up to me close, and I mumbled out, take me to the hospital.
My mum actually asked me to go to rehab, but I'd been doing nothing but working for 2 years straight. I wasn't even drinking. It was very hard to hear that from my own family.
Get to the hospital, they rushed me to the back, find out I got blood clot on my right lung.
so I said, like, what are we gonna do? He said, well, look, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a scan. And he said, because we really, really need this to work. And I said, what do you mean by, you know, you really need this to work? And he said, if your tumors don't absorb what I'm gonna inject you with, he said, next Friday, I'm gonna tell you how much longer you got left to live. And that was,
I started to reject them and shut them all out completely. I moved away on my own, and I started just to cut off all the ties.
I realized it was bad though, because my dad, who talks more than me and always talking about just believing God to heal you and stuff, he wasn't saying nothing.
My mum she started crying, my dad was crying, and my brother, who never cries, he was crying as well, and I was trying to keep it together.
And that was a pretty dark point.
I said, Doc, don't you let me die, because that's gonna kill my wife if I die.
I remember messaging my 5 or 6 closest friends, and I had them all over, and
I surrounded myself with people at the time that were a much more positive influence. They got me doing my music again.
we all just started playing Uno, and I've honestly never laughed as much as I did that night. And that was one of the most incredible things, because it just shows you the importance of like friendship and family. And
You know, for years, I always felt like I was covering my wife, but during that time, she covered for me. You know, when I was down and weak.
I started to realize that my family hadn't actually done anything negative towards me. It was all something that I'd created.
so I had the scan on the Wednesday, and thanks be to God, my tumours absorbed it, and I started chemotherapy pretty much straight away. It really significantly affected my heart. So now my heart only operates at 40% roughly. But at the same time, like I couldn't really be angry at it, because if it wasn't for the chemotherapy, I wouldn't be here, you know? So my heart's really working 40% better than what it should be working at.
So, yeah, I think that's about almost as close as that razor you got on me now. You know, I could have died.
I'm very, very lucky I made it through, you know? But you're always good. You always say you shaved my head for me, looked after me.
Yeah. How's that, Andrew? All good?
It's a very good shave, man. It's nice and close.
I'm feeling good, because you know what they say, Bruce.
What's that?
If you look good, you play good.
Thanks a lot, Josh. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week, huh?
That meeting place, my brother. Yo, stay woke, black man.
Will
I
do.
get with you.
All right.